Hello everyone and welcome to my top 10 games of 2013. Now this list, the only rules for this list are that the game must have been released in 2013, obviously. That's its original release date, so we're not counting things like HD remakes and re-releases. So let's get to this list now. Okay, at number 10 we have Rogue Legacy. This is one of those little impulse buys that you get on Steam, and it turned out to be one of my favourite RPGs. It features things like random dungeon layouts. Also, if you die, you respawn as a descendant of the character that just died. I think that's pretty awesome. It really does remind me of an old school 8-bit game. It's kind of like Metroid or Castlevania. It's a fantastic little game, and a pretty good year for indie games. This one was my favourite. I just loved its style. I loved the art style. I loved the gameplay. The fact that no two characters that you restarted as were ever the same. So it's a fantastic little game, and I recommend you check it out on Steam. Alright, so we're moving on to Neverwinter. This one kind of snuck up on me, really. I mean, it was kind of came out of nowhere. I really didn't have any anticipation of it, but it emerged as one of the better MMOs and one of the better free-to-play games of 2013. I love the combat system. It has a pretty fun PvP system. I like the forge, that you can make your own quests or you can do other people's quests that they've made. I love that system, and it looks fantastic, and it's pretty good value. I mean, I've never spent a penny in it yet, and I've had hours of fun in it. I may drop some cash in it next year, who knows? But it's certainly worth your time and definitely worth checking out. Right, moving on to number 8, we have Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, which is a stupid name, stupid title, really, I have to say. But this was one of the best action games of the year. I loved the fact that we could just chop anything practically. It doesn't quite build on the premise that the tech demo a few years ago set, but it is a fantastic Metal Gear game. Very different from the others in the series. It's made by Platinum Games, who made Bayonetta. It's a fantastic, just chopping everything is fun, and you get to play as Raiden, but this time at least we know we're playing as Raiden from the start. It's not like Metal Gear Solid 2, and I just love this. I love the fact that we could just chop enemies into little pieces. I mean, who doesn't love that in a game? What more could you want from a Metal Gear game? Right, so number 7 we have Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. Now, I was toying with the idea that it is technically a re-release, so, you know, does it count for this list? Am I breaking my own rules? Well, two things. One, it's my rules, I'll break them if I want, and two, it's completely different from the first version 1, which came out, what, 2010. I think it's been refined and improved in every way, and I'm giving it a place on this list because I really love this game. Just recently getting back into it after playing it for a bit at launch and in beta. I still love this game. I love the fact that we can change classes on a whim because I'm a bit of an altaholic, and I love the job system is fantastic, where you take two classes and combine them together. Other than that, it is very refined, and it's a completely different game from the original, hence why it's on the list. Okay, so now we are at GTA 5. It was always going to appear on this list, but I decided to put it in at number 6 because I'm not the biggest fan of GTA, to be honest with you, but I can appreciate how good 5 is. I mean, It's got you play as 3 characters. It's a massive, sprawling city of Los Santos. It's also very different. You've got the countryside. There's so much to do in the game. How could I not put it on this list? But I'm not the biggest fan. I don't think it's the greatest game ever made. I mean, I acknowledge that it's a fantastic game, but that's my thoughts on GTA. Right, at number 5 we have Tomb Raider, another one of those games that I didn't expect to like, and I just thought it was a fantastic game, fantastic story, terrific what they did with the Lara Croft reboot. They took her from kind of an object to a really good character now. I really like the new Lara, and you're looking at the PC version right now, and we can just admire her hair physics. So just have a little look at them. Sorry for the lack of footage, but that's all I could record before the driver crashed. Right, we have Bioshock Infinite at number 4, and I really loved this game. It's a fantastic world. I mean, Bioshock, the original Bioshock was set under the sea. This one's set in the skies, and it's a fantastic little game. I really loved Columbia. It was one of the best worlds. As a shooter, it was okay. I don't think it was anything really special as a shooter. It was just your kind of standard shooter with the, what were they called? They're not plasmids, the vigors, that's what they're called. Keep forgetting that. Keep calling them plasmids because I'm used to Bioshock 1. But I really loved this game. Fantastic setting, some fantastic characters in the game. I really like the way it explored. It kind of explored racism and things like that. It was a fantastic game. One worthy of a place in the top 5, and at number 4. Right, we got number 3, we have Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. This is another game that I really had no interest in before it came out. I just decided to pick it up. I like being surprised, I like being pleasantly surprised, and this was another one of those games. I think I was surprised a lot more in 2013 by certain games, but this one really was a fantastic game. I loved its art style. It's got a fantastic graphics, fantastic story as well. It can be quite sad at times and really moving, but I don't like the combat, and I don't like the combat in most JRPGs, but I'm willing to gloss over that because of how many hours I put into this game. And it's one of the best games of this generation, and a fantastic year 2013 for the PS3. And it was a great start to the year. This was one of the first exclusive games on the PS3, and you really should check this out. It's very cheap on PSN right now. I'll put that out there. Go buy it. Right, almost to number 1, but at number 2 we have Super Mario 3D World. Now, I have to confess, I really didn't like last year's new Super Mario Brothers U. I just really didn't like the 2D version for some reason. I never liked New Super Mario Brothers Wii either. I like the 3DS ones, but this one is fantastic. I love the art style. I love the fact that we can throw fireballs down pipes. That was one of the coolest moments in a Mario game. For me anyway. I love everything about this game. I love its use of the sort of 3D world. The new cat suit is fantastic. There's the new multiplier cherry, which is just insane to have about 4 or 5 Marios running around. This game, again, the Wii U had an okay year, the Wii U. But this is the best sort of next-gen game, I would say. If you can call it a next-gen game. I call it a next-gen game. I think it looks fantastic. I think it meets all the criteria for a next-gen game. And it's certainly better than all of the PS4 and Xbox One games. This was the best game released in November, and that contained the next-gen console launch. That says a lot for Super Mario 3D World. To sort of take away the thunder from the next-gen systems, that's its biggest achievement. Alright, so we've made it to number 1, and my number 1 game, 2013, in case you haven't guessed by now, it's pretty obvious really, because it was the best game released. I think it's the best game of this generation, to be honest with you. It is, of course, The Last of Us. This is a fantastic game in terms of its emotional impact. Its characters are fantastic. I love the setting as well. Basically, this is the game I think Resident Evil should be at the moment. Not some Call of Duty clone action game, but this is the kind of survival horror that I have been waiting for since the PS1. We've been waiting a long time to play a survival horror game, really, and this is one of the best ever made. You genuinely care about the characters. Joel and Ellie are fantastic. Even the supporting cast are fantastic. What can I say about this game? I love it. I love the brutality of it. It's just an amazing experience from beginning to end. And you always want to find out what happens at the end. You always want to find out what happens. You play it for 5 minutes. It's not enough. You got to play it for 10 minutes. You got to play it for 20 minutes. And before you know it, you've been playing it for 5 hours. That's that kind of game. And I believe one of the best games of this generation. It really was a great way for the PS3 to sign off in style. I think I'd recommend this game to anyone. Go out, buy it. So that was my list for 2013. Few surprises I had on that list. No next gen games, because I quite frankly don't like any of them, to be honest with you. I think the next gen has yet to begin, to be honest. In terms of graphics, they're all there, but in terms of gameplay, it's just the same old stuff as the previous gen. And really, The Last of Us really showed the next gen really that we don't really need a next gen. That's what it showed us. The PS3 still going good. The Xbox 360 pretty much dead. By 2013, we had no Xbox 360 exclusives on this list. I don't think there were any in 2013. I don't think I can name any personally. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon for more top 10s. See you soon, and goodbye.